chapter we're going to talk about the operator and loop and file, and also the loop that we have a for loop, while loop, and do loop. Let's go start one by one. Let's look at this example right here. This is the skeleton of the Java program, and the while loop is as followed that I have two variable x0, y4, and right here I have a boolean expression, and this boolean expression we're going to talk about it that as long x less than file, go through this process, increment the I, display this message to the screen, and come back, check the condition. So this one, each time increment the x, go to the loop and back again, display the result and increment the x. Let's look at the example. This example right here is the same program that we have it right here. It's the same program. Now in this scenario, let's consider this is while operator, while x is 0 based on description that we put right here, and y is 4. Now the loop format is come right here, increment the x, then go display this message, then go rotate back to the loop, and now is x1 less than 4 true, and go this through process. Let me show you a step by step that this one is going. So let me bring this one a little bit down. Look at right here. So right here x is 0, you're going to come right here, go start right here, see if you're going to see x is 0. This one is starting from right here, come right here, change increment the x by 1, display this message, go rotate the loop, increment the x right there to 1, then again come in the loop, come right here, change the x to the 2, display the message, this message right here, then again you're going to rotate to the loop and go change this I to 2. Let's go ahead and look at this process. Change I to the 2, 2 less than 4, yes, you go through the loop again and change this time to x to the 3, display a message right here, and then go to the loop again. Now change this 2 to 3, change to that 1 to 3, 3 less than 4, yes, go through the loop again and increment this I one more time to 4, display the result, and again go back right here and change this one to 4, and now you're going to say x value is 4, and with the 4 you cannot proceed to the loop. The while condition is no longer true, so you go through the exit and exit from the system. So this format we call it while loop. We have two more forms of the loop that we're going to talk about those one by one. As you see, this is the while loop format that normally you're going to check the condition and you're going to increment the x and go display the message, then again go to the loop as I show you in the animation. Well, in this slide I use right here x put to that one x plus plus, but I did not explain to you what it does mean. The x plus plus is similar to x assigned to that one x plus 1. I can use this one put to x 1 plus 1, or in the Java or C++, or replace it with the x plus plus. It has the same meaning. So in the same minute we can say that the number plus 1 assigned to number or number minus 1 assigned to number is similar, that I'm going to say number plus plus or number minus minus. Now there is two more new operator in this format that I can use: increment operator or decrement operator, and plus plus number and minus minus number, which is the prefix, in contrast to this one which is postfix. What is the difference between the number plus plus and number plus plus number? What is the difference between these two? In the definition, this plus plus right here increment after the execution of the statement. This one increment before the execution of the statement. what I mean by that one. Let's go do an example. First, let's enhance this program that we have right here. If you notice, somehow I put it x plus plus. I would like to take this one right here and bring it right here. If I can put him right here, open a parentheses and close parentheses and put x plus plus, close parentheses. Let's enhance this code by this one. So I'll have it this program right here, so I'm going to enhance it and take this x plus plus out and bring him right here. I'm asking to add it, and I open a parentheses and put x plus plus, and as the result we're going to behave the same output that already we executed. And you will see that first you're going to increment the what you're going to do, you're going to increment the x and display the result. The plus plus x and x plus plus, we can see the difference right here. It is the same program that we had before, but right here x0 y0. Right here when I'm going to say display the dialog box and the value is x plus plus. So first in mass execute the output, then increment the x. So as a result you're going to see that the x is 0. Still it didn't increment the x. It just kept the x as the value of the 0, as you're going to see right here in this dialog box, and display the result. After the semicolon, you're going to increment the x. So this is when we use the prefix of the plus plus x. Let's see, when we're using the the postfix of the x plus plus. And let's go ahead and look at the other format. If I do the increment before the execution of this statement, so if I put plus plus x, what are going to do? First is going to increment x to 1, display this message, then go to the next loop. So the difference is before the execution, this one is before the execution, before the incrementing x, display the message. This one before executing this statement, increment the message, increment the x. Let me go over this step one more time. So this one, this x, first you're going to display execute this dialog box, then increment the x. So when you're going to display the dialog box, x remains 0. In this example, when we're using the postfix, when we use the prefix, first you're going to increment the x, then display the message. So this is what we call it different between the prefix of the x and the postfix of the operator or x. So that's the difference between these two operators. This example right here, similar example, but instead of the plus plus, we're using the minus minus. So let's put it this way. When I'm using the prefix, you're going to increment the x and display the dialog box. Postfix, what you're going to display the dialog box and then display, increment the value or decrement the value of the x. So that's the difference between the when we're using the prefix for plus plus or prefix for minus minus and postfix. There are more examples in your book that you can go follow up and look at one by one. Let me show you one more animation and we're going down. Let's consider that we have a program and we have integer x and integer. As you're going to see this example, again we try to do go the same process, and you're going to increment the x, go to the loop, repeat it next time, repeat it, and increment it each time as you're going to see the result. Finally you're going to exit. Here is the flowchart format. So right here we have the expression that we're going to say if condition is true, you go through one statement and execute it, return it back, and if the condition is fail, you're going to exit as I show you in that animation. The next one, infinite loop. This one is a scenario that you get to the loop and loop never terminate. We call that one infinite loop. Let's look at the example. Let's imagine that I put it right here, I do not increment, let's say I close this one and executing this statement. this loop never increment the x, and this loop go forever, and we call this one infinite loop. You have to be very careful, do not get in an infinite loop. If you get infinite loop, you have to terminate your program. Probably won't let you terminate the program. You have to abort your program by going to your control panel. So this one we call it infinite loop. Block statement is in a loop. When I have a while condition, right here in the example that we ran, we put a single statement. But if we would like to put multiple statements, like the if statement that we did before, we have to put between a curly brace, open curly brace and close curly brace, and this is we call this one the scope that the while loop should be executed. Let's look at the example. In this example, as before, we have a while condition, but this time I use two expressions. Let me go previous example before. As we're going to see, this example, it got more than one statement. But if we would like change it, so right here, that's the reason we open a curly brace and we close a curly brace in this example. So this one we have a block. In this example, because the while loop only there is one statement to be executed, when you're going to see this semicolon at the end of the statement, you're going to loop back to the while loop. So you're going to see I didn't put any open close curly brace. But if I put right here an open curly brace and ended up right here, right here, it gonna mean any statement that I have in this area. So anything that I put right here will be also part of the loop statement. So block statement, block loop. We spoke about the while loop. We have another format of the loop. We call it do while. Do while, in contrast to the while loop, that it check the condition before executing any statement. The do while is reversed. Do while allow the statement to be executed, and then you go and check for the condition. If the condition is true, you go back to the loop. If the condition is failed, you go and exit from the loop. That's the main difference between a do while and a while. So right here we have a starting with the do, and right here we're going to put, when we close the brace, curly brace, right here we're going to put while the condition, and right here is a scenario that we incrementing the or x to be sure that we're not getting in the infinite loop, and we can exit from the loop. We have one more type of the loop, and that we call for loop. Let's go look at the for loop. The for loop, we're not using the while at all. What we're going to using, we're going checking the condition and allowing the statement to be executed. So let's put it this example. So we're going to put for x we define it as 0, y the 4, same as the previous example. For x equal to 0, x less than 4, this is our condition, plus x, or you remember x plus prefix or postfix. So this one we're asking increment the x, display this message, and go continue the loop again. Now this time x is 1 and y is 4, and now it check the x and increment the x, display this dialog box, change the x to the 2, and go to the loop for the third and the fourth time. And when it gonna reach to the end, it gonna terminate. This one somehow is much more secure compared to the while loop, because you putting the x always 0 and y putting right here, and we putting the increment. So increment, if I do not put anything right here, I'm going to be in the infinite loop again, same as we had before. So this is the third type of the loop. So we have while loop, we have for loop, and we have do loop. Here example of the do while. We are scanning from keyboard and really asking to enter a number between 100, and then right here display to the output some message, and right here we're reading the number, and as long number less than 1 and number is greater than 100, any of these two conditions, execute this statement. So in fact, what you're going to do, this is an interesting example right here. As you're going to see, any number, put a number in the range of 1 through 100. But right here, if number less than 1 or number greater than 100, whatever which is the result is true, negate that one. And when you're negating the result, so always number is between 1 and 100, and execute the result. So this is an example of the do while. Here is the same example that we worked on that one before, do while, and right here there is one statement in the do statement that we have right here. We have to open a curly brace and close curly brace in the while, and however I have one statement. Well, as I said, even we may take this one, this open curly brace and this close curly brace out if we have one statement only. Let's look at this example right here. Let me bring it in the window, and you're going to see that I have the do, but I close what? I close the open curly brace, and right here I close the curly brace, and it still is compiling and executing this program. And you're going to go to the loop because I have one statement, and terminating the loop is right here. The loop, you go through the loop, check it, back again, back again. Here's the format if we're looking at the same example with the format of the flowchart. The Boolean expression compare right here. If the condition is true, you go to the loop and execute the statement, as you're going to see right here. And if it's the condition x not greater, x less than y, if while the x and y is equal, or x greater than y, you're going to terminate and exit from the loop. Here is the same example with the format of the for statement. X is equal to 1, y less than 10, x number plus plus, and you're going to display the number over and over and terminate when number is getting equal to 10. Here's the flowchart format of the for loop statement, and you're going to see right here for y. Right here, this is another method that we declaring the int. See right here, int y assigned to that one for x0, x less than y, x plus plus. You're going to see inside the for statement also we can declare the x or y. I declare right here y is 4 and x is 0, and I should declare x right here. Oh, I declare it right here, y is 0, x 0. Let's repeat it, that one. Int y assigned to 4, x assigned to 0, and I declare him right here as long x less than y plus plus x. So you're going to execute the dialog box and increment. So you're going to see that I did not declare any variable right here. I declare inside the loop. So this is the enhancing the for statement.